So you know that Laetitia James is in, well, hot water with so many frauds that have been, all these accusations, all this alleged mortgage fraud is one of them. And she was in this public speech for some reason addressing this mortgage fraud controversy. And I noticed a couple body language cues that we could study. Let's watch the first part of the clip. This is a shortish clip. It's less than 50 seconds long.
Nothing more than retribution. It's baseless.
Okay, one thing is baseless. He's claiming that there's attacks, these accusations are just a retaliation against her after all that she has done to Trump in the past. So this is retribution. And she says that doing open hand gestures, when that open hand gestures project innocence. I have nothing to hide. You can investigate all that you want. This is something that is body language 101.
It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia.
So she claims that all these accusations spark from the fact that in a power of attorney, she mistakenly stated that she was living in the state of Virginia. I don't know if she said that she mistakenly.
A power of attorney, mistakenly.
She mistakenly indicated. At least she is. I'm gonna give it to her. She's assuming the responsibility of what happened, if that is what happened. In fact, it's not that. Is that my attorney or whoever was, or my assistant or my intern mistakenly indicated that I was living in Virginia. No, she said that she was the one who mistakenly indicated that she was living in Virginia. Maybe this is a red herring. We don't know, but at least she speaks for herself. So this was just a mistake in a power of attorney document.
They indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
You notice that when she is making the argument that she has never been a resident of Virginia and never will be, her blinking goes through the roof. You can see it for yourself.
But prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
Now, it will be interesting, I guess, that she didn't have time to get into the details. Why would she need to put in bold black letters that she had never been a resident of Virginia? Why was this discrepancy? Why would she feel that it was needed for her to say or to state that so strongly, or to highlight that?
That, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
And in the mortgage application, this is, let's say, my favorite part.
And in the mortgage application, I indicated that I would not live in Virginia and I was not a resident. They just took the power of attorney and they're using that as a basis for enforcement.
Oh, right, yeah, because that's how documents can be used. If a document is a registry of something bad that you did or wrong that you did, it can and will be used against you. But I'm pretty sure that you notice what is called a long blink, in which she's looking to one side, illustrating with her hand, like the power of attorney that Trump's goons grabbed to attack her, and then she does a long blink, which is, maybe you watch my shows and videos, so you already know that people want to be a bit detached from the moment. They don't want to be there. They feel afraid. They want to be anywhere else. Maybe if they answering a question, they don't want to answer that question. That is a long blink. It doesn't have a meaning in itself, but it's an emotional reaction of detachment. So we continue with the last part.
The power of attorney, and they're using that as a basis for enforcement, for their investigation, when in reality, the power of attorney was never used to determine my eligibility for a mortgage.
So she says that, okay, you could have said that from the beginning, from a document that was irrelevant to the mortgage. It's like she's saying that the power of attorney had nothing to do with the eligibility of the mortgage in the first place. All right, so why would you be worried about that if it has nothing to do with it? If it really has nothing to do with it, which won't make much sense, because if the power of attorney has nothing to do with the mortgage, then why are you mentioning it? If you know that they have nothing, all right, as you are claiming, she's basically claiming that law enforcement has nothing on her. Why would you mention the power of attorney itself if it's nothing? It's I don't know, that's strange. But the last part, the very last part, is when she adds the emotional cue to the sub story. You know, that's, oh, this is so bad.
For my niece, for a home in the state of Virginia. My niece who has children, and because I am a good aunt, I wanted her to have a home.
Yeah, you know, the sub story, this mortgage was not for me. It was for my niece. And since my niece is a mother and I am a good aunt, well, I wanted to find her a home. That was important. That was important. That was important, but at the same time, it has nothing to do with the investigation. If she did something wrong, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with her intentions. You can have the best intentions. What they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. She had the best intentions. She wanted to find her niece home. Oh, and then all this cluster F happened. Oh, poor Laetitia.
Was never used to determine my eligibility for a mortgage for my niece for a home in the state of Virginia. My niece who has children, and because I am a good aunt, I wanted her to have.
Yeah, you notice that she is going all over the place. Let me see. I think this is a good frame to stay for a second. You see that she is going all over the place with this topic, going from, okay, this is a nothing burger, from a power of attorney, which she mistakenly filled in a certain way, but at the same time, it should have been void by a statement that she made prior to that. Why would you care if a document that has nothing to do with your prosecution or the allegations is void because something you said before, and then you state that it has nothing to do with the mortgage itself, and then you have to reinforce that the mortgage was for your niece and you're a good aunt? I mean, there are a lot of statements that the only strong statement will be the fact that she made a mistake in the power of attorney. That's a mistake that anybody could make. And if you can prove that the mistake was not in bad faith, it was not on purpose, well, maybe you can get off the hook. But then you say that this has nothing to do with the allegations. Then why do you mention it? So you begin to notice that she's trying to address the allegations of the mortgage, but with things that have nothing to do with the allegations themselves. Again, very complicated. Very complicated to say that they have nothing on me, that this is only retribution, retaliation from Trump. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember to download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.